Yeah, Barbara Sheehan has become the unintended poster child for domestic violence. Her story grabbed national headlines after she was found clutching 2 guns on her Howard Beach living room floor, admitting that she'd shot her retired cop husband in the family bathroom. The story that was revealed during her murder trial was heart-wrenching. A woman who'd been abused for 17 years by a man who was obsessed by twisted sexual fantasies. For the first time, she beat the murder charge and went away for nearly 2 weeks to Rikers Island jail. Barbara Sheehan is telling her story exclusively here on PIX 11.
I knew that I needed to do something because I knew that the end was near. He was going to kill me.
And it did end, with 2 guns, 11 bullets, and Barbara being the only one to walk away. 24 years of marriage for Ray and Barbara Sheehan came to this explosive conclusion after years of abuse, according to Barbara. She had married her high school sweetheart at just 22, despite seeing early warning signs.
He was kind of very possessive of my time, didn't want me to go out after school.
And once married, more clues slipped in once Ray started to slap her around.
He came from an abusive home. He was abused, verbally, emotionally, physically.
Ray said it was his mother who was the abuser. As a child, he was venting his silent rage on animals.
And that's another first sign of an abuser. Another sign to get out if people are telling you stories how they've abused animals as children.
And then he turned all that anger on you.
Mm-hmm. It was just horrible. It was an absolute house of horrors.
The violence escalated after their second child, son Raymond, was born. But Barbara never told anyone, never called 911.
He hit me with the receiver. Go ahead and call, and let's see what happens when they get here. You think they're going to take a report from a sergeant? They think they're going to believe you? And again, being a cop, knowing where to put the black and blues, you know, on your back, the top parts of your arm, on the top parts of your leg, places where people don't see.
She still bears the scar from having her head split open and stitched up after Ray smashed her head against a hotel room wall while on a Jamaican vacation. Ray would blame Barbara for the cuts, bruises, calling her clumsy. And Barbara's shame pushed her to secrecy as well.
You actually learn to cover things up. You know, you don't see them for the week while the black eye is healing. You know, you have a cold, you can't come out. You wear a turtleneck because, you know, you have marks on your neck.
The relationship took its ultimate, violent turn for the worse once Barbara stumbled on Ray's true secret while on the family computer.
I would log on and these people would start talking to me. I mean, originally I thought it was a woman that he was having an affair with, which would made sense. Wound out there were no women. He went with transvestites, I think they're called, transvestites. He was doing all kinds of, he would meet up with these young people and he would dress like a woman, or they would dress like a woman, and baby, I don't even know what it's called.
Infantilism?
That's it. He was into that.
Wearing diapers?
I knew for years. Like I said, it's been at least 10 years that we hadn't had any sex.
You knew about all the dirty, nasty sexual things that he was embarrassed by,
exactly.
Shamed by.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that's part of the reason why you had to go?
Absolutely, because I knew too much.
Barbara's most basic instincts kicked in and sent her a message.
I could see and sense that he was losing his mind. He was losing control of himself. And it was, you know, going to end, and he was definitely going to kill me. Now, the district attorney's office tried desperately to prove Barbara manufactured those abuse allegations, trying to discredit her own testimony as well as that of her children, who witnessed so very much of the abuse, and friends who vouched for the cuts, bruises, and verbal abuse. Ultimately, the jury believed Barbara and that she was justified in shooting her husband in self-defense. Jody, it's symptomatic of domestic violence. It happens behind closed doors. Victims often remain silent. They're so scared that they may hurt another family member, and they choose to suffer in silence, as Barbara did.
And Barbara wound up spending time at Rikers after she was found guilty for possessing one of those guns, but she got out. Of course, we've covered all of this. So what's next for her?
Well, she's out on bail right now, and that's $1 million bail, by the way. The same charge for Jets player Plaxico Burress carried $100,000 in bail. She will get sentenced on November 10th, getting anywhere from 2 to 15 years, but her attorneys are already appealing, saying basically you can't acquit someone of murder, but convict them of using the weapon that was used in the commission of the act.
And your exclusive conversation with Barbara continues tonight at 10.
Yes, it certainly does. Barbara still lives in the home that she shared with her husband, and for the first time takes us inside as she describes the morning of the shooting, those few fateful seconds that changed her life forever.
And he came at me with the gun that he had. So I picked up the gun that I had and I shot him.
All right, we'll tune in at 10. Thanks very much, Kirsten.